Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have a bunch of callers on hold tonight, you guys. This is going to be a blast. I told them all, let's limit your questions to just one question and let's make it fairly quick so that I can try and get as many people on as I can. And update, everything's good in Sweet Home, Alabama. I got 2 spots left in my training that starts February 8th. So if you're thinking about joining us, it is life-changing. Please join us. I'll send out a reminder to everybody over the weekend that if you're thinking about taking the class, please go ahead and sign up because it will be full here shortly. We've only got a couple of weeks before it starts. Thank you for your comments on my new book, Angel Messages for Kids. It's a kid's picture book. It's just darling, if I say so myself. The illustrations are really cute. I found this wonderful illustrator in Ireland named Roz Webb, and I think she's just done a fantastic job. So I'm eager for you to see those. Please leave a review if you get the book on Amazon because it'll help others find it, and please leave a review for Angelic Attendants too. And send me a pic of your book when you get it. I'm getting pictures and videos and stuff of people with their kids, just adults are sending me a picture of their book, and then I'll post it on social media, and that's fun. So thanks so much for your support on that. So let's just go ahead and go to the phones. And our first person that we're going to talk to tonight is Desi. Hi, Desi.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, girl?
I'm good. Thank you.
Terrific.
Just trying to, living through the wave of energy this January.
Oh, I bet. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
Yeah, so I'm actually calling from London, from the UK, so quite a far away from you guys. But nevertheless, I'm really glad to join you all here tonight. So
you get the prize for the furthest distance so far. And and staying up the latest. So I'm sure it's way past your bedtime. Tell everybody what time it is there.
It's 1 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well, I hope you get to sleep in the morning a little bit and don't have to get up real early.
Yeah, I will.
Good.
No worries.
Oh, good. Everybody, I was on Desi's show a couple of weeks ago, and I posted a link on all my social media, Instagram, Ask Julie Ryan, Facebook, Ask Julie Ryan, and you'll see a graphic and also a link to the show. But I just wanted to introduce Desi to all of you. Desi is a filmmaker, you guys, and she's really extraordinary. And we had an interesting conversation that really went all across the board, didn't it? It kind of meandered in a lot of different areas, and that's what's so much fun about when I get to be a guest on other people's shows, because the questions are always different and it brings up different topics and all of that. So Desi, please tell everybody about you and your work and your show and how they can find you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you again so much for being on my podcast. It was really amazing to have you, and it was such a fascinating conversation, getting into the medical intuition and everything. So yeah. But yeah, otherwise I have a podcast called Bridging the Realm, which I launched last year in 2019, just after the summer. And the idea behind Bridging the Realm is to really try to tap into the non-physical reality and try to understand how our physical world is being influenced by the energies that are around us, by other people's energies, by the environmental energies, and by other beings that, you know, we cannot see with our physical eyes, but that are nevertheless there and around us constantly, such as, you know, people who pass away, our deceased loved ones. So the whole idea is just to try to understand how our world really works. Because according to science, you know, we can only see about 5% of the visible light spectrum. So that means about 95% we cannot see, and that's all of this is affecting us. So on my podcast, I interview people who are into the spiritual field, who do shamanic work, who do healing, and basically it's about trying to allow us to understand how we can better navigate what's around us and how it's influencing us, so that we can make more conscious decisions about our own lives. And on top of that, I'm also doing documentaries that are also to do with the spiritual field, so very much to do with life after death. And at this moment in time, I'm currently in the middle of doing a documentary about life after death and what happens to the soul after we pass away, after people transition into the non-physical reality. So it's very much connected to the spiritual world and how it all works.
Terrific. Well, that's what an undertaking. I can't even imagine to put together a movie. It sounds glamorous, but I know it's a lot of hard work, and I know there's lots that go into it, not just the workload, but getting funding and all of that. So my hat's off to you, girl. And keep us posted on how that's going. And, of course, let me know if I can help you with it. So will you go to bed? How, you know, before you go to bed, I guess I should say, how can everybody find you?
So people can join me. I have a YouTube channel called Bridging the Realm. So if they just search Bridging the Realm on YouTube, and also they can find a little bit more about my documentary work on my website, which is again bridgingtherealm.com. And on there I have information about my podcast and my documentary and all the other projects that I'm kind of working on right now. So if anyone out there is interested in maybe being on my show, on my channel, and wants to be interviewed, anyone who's doing any similar work, then it would be amazing to get in touch. So yeah, definitely hit me up.
Okay. Thanks, Desi. You go to bed and have sweet dreams. Thanks for staying up late to join us. Okay, lots of love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All righty. It really was fun, you guys. I think you'll enjoy listening to it. So, again, you can get the links off of my Ask Julie Ryan on Instagram and also on Facebook. All right, let's go to Miss Gina next. Hi, Gina.
Hello.
Hi, Gina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
From Chicago.
All right. Well, you got a quick question for me?
Well, we had just spoken yesterday, and you had made a little diagnosis and said I could call in and perhaps get a little more insight in terms of the mold issue in my home.
Yeah. Tell everybody what we found with you. You've had some health issues, right?
Yeah, so the health issues were related to just not feeling well, having a lot of depression, anxiety symptoms, and been searching for a lot of different ways to solve that. And a friend recommended Julie. She was great. And in her scan, she came up with the sort of Shazam surprise of her number one thing that came up was mold. And I didn't know what that was about, and it's not necessarily from diet or anything like that. So we kind of hypothesized it was maybe environmental. I'm in an old house. So I just was a little bit of a curiosity of that. And I have, a small child in the house and all of that too. So, but I was struck by your image of the ET and all this mold on my body. So it's still haunting me. So I can't figure it out. Yeah,
what I told Gina, you guys, was, my visuals are wild. And Gina, you're learning this since yesterday, obviously, because the first time we spoke. But I come up with all these different visuals to give us a frame of reference so that our human minds can try and absorb what it is I'm seeing, because so much of this stuff is is new and is different to us, that this is energetic stuff that I'm seeing. So when I got Gina on my radar, you guys, I saw this mold all over her body. And then once I removed the mold underneath it, she looked really sick. And I told her, I said, you remind me of what E.T. looked like in the incubator at the end of the movie. And the good news is E.T., gets to phone home and then go home, and he gets better. So you got to concentrate on that part of the movie, Gina, not the incubator part.
True. That's true.
Yeah. So, interestingly enough, I have a friend who lives in New Orleans who's a fairly new friend, and I met her 2 or 3 years ago, and I was down visiting her, and her husband walked in, and I knew he was a costume designer in the movies. They had moved to New Orleans from L.A., and he walked in, and I introduced myself, and I said, have you done any movies that I might know? And he said, yeah, E.T. was his first one, and he started laughing. He goes, well, E.T. I said, E.T., you dressed E.T. like in that outfit and in the bike ride and all of that? And he said, yeah, I did. I'm the one. So maybe think of it with the E.T. movie. All right, so what I'm doing is I've connected to you energetically, Gina, and I raised my vibrational level to those of you that are first-time listeners, and we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. So when I raise my vibrational level, I'm able to connect to spirit anywhere. Spirit that's attached to a body, spirit that of a deceased person, it doesn't matter. When we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly just because the body has mass. So Gina, what I've done is I've raised my vibrational level. It takes me a nanosecond. I turn it on and off at will. And then I've watched a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama, hooked into you in Chicago. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan your house now and see if we can figure out where the mold is. Okay, so I'm walking in the front door. What's the room on the left when I first walk in the front door?
Well, it's actually a staircase going upstairs.
All right, so what's the wall on the left? It's an outside wall?
It's like, yeah, it's an outside wall.
You've got lots of mold in that wall. My guess is at some point you've had a water leak, maybe your roof leaked or something, and what happens is we'll get the roof fixed, but there's water that's gotten in between the walls, and behind the drywall and all of that, and mold can start, and then dark place, mold just has a field day in there, and then it can release toxins. There's a test you can do called the Fermi Test. I believe I sent you this. Yes. Link, ERMI. I suggest you do that, but you absolutely have a bunch of mold in that wall there. I can hear your baby coughing. Poor baby. So you've got, speaking of mold exposure in a house, little people get respiratory stuff and colds and things like that too. So I would do that Fermi test, Gina, and see what comes up, and then get somebody in there to remediate that. And when they're remediating stuff, have them use the plastic sheets, and they come with zippers in them now. They can put zippers in them, so they really can close off a room. And if you need to get in the room, you just unzip the zipper and walk through and zip it back up. We had some work done in our house earlier in the year, and I learned about the zipper plastic. I thought that was so cool. So anyways, I hope that helps, and I hope you feel better.
Yeah. No, okay. Thank you. That's really helpful.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Oh,
Take
my
care.
Pleasure. All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty, let's see who's next. I believe it's Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Yes.
Hi.
Good evening.
How are you?
I have a quick question. I am in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
My husband has passed away, and I am in the process of sorting and cleaning and downsizing our house. And today I'm just feeling very, just want to feel secure that I am doing the right things and being respectful with his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see and get a read on, is there anything that I have selected to give away that he thinks I should keep? Or am I on the right path?
Okay. All right. Is that, are you talking about clothing or family stuff?
More
or
family stuff right now. The dining room is full of things on the table, things from his office.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, our heart goes out to you for losing your husband. Tell everybody what your husband's name is.
Bruce, and he passed away from cancer. He was a fighter. Loved him dearly.
Yeah. Okay.
And it'll be 2 years in May, so I'm finally able to.
And so this has got to be, so hard
to
be doing this.
Yeah.
I bet. All right. So do you want me to get Bruce involved? Let's connect with
Please
him
do.
And see what he has to say. Okay. So he's standing to your right, and remember, spirits are really literal. So let's be as specific of a question as we can ask him, and then we'll talk to him and see what he has to say. So,
well, just the things in the dining room. Is everything in the dining room good to give away?
Is there some kind of china or plates or something, like something kitchen-y that's in that whole mix in the dining room?
Oh my God! I threw them in the trash. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is the trash left yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember if
All
I
right.
threw it Wednesday or if I threw it today. There's so much stuff, but there were some blue.
What was it?
Is it blue? A blue teapot, teeny teapot.
He's telling me China. Something China. So was it China?
It said it was made in Germany, so I assume it's China.
Probably. Okay. So he's saying if you find China stuff, that he wants you to keep that, because that can be passed down to his granddaughters and his grandchildren. And he said the other stuff, he said especially the plastic stuff, he doesn't care about. Does he have a bunch of stuff from the 60s by any chance?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He's laughing about that. He's saying the 60s stuff you don't need to keep. Is it all plastic? What is it?
It's kitsy junk. It just is.
All right. Well, so that's why he's laughing about that. That was cool then, but maybe not so much now. Okay.
Yep.
All right. He's saying his clothes, let the boys, you have sons, let the boys pick out what they want and then give the rest to, he's saying Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. Does that make sense
that's
to
where
you?
I went tonight. Yep, that's where I went tonight, and the boys have looked through what I gave away tonight. So good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And he's saying have your sons help you with all of this. That you don't need to be doing this by yourself. That they need to be more engaged, and that he's saying you're giving them a pass, and you don't need to be. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm doing it all alone. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's saying his exact words were, "It's time to get the boys more involved." So enough. His words, enough, which I take to mean that you've been working your tail off on all of this.
Yep. So thank you.
Okay. I hope that helps. So hang on to the china. He wants you to keep the china for his grandchildren.
Okay.
His granddaughters, in particular, is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And he has granddaughters?
Okay.
4. There you go. Perfect.
There we go.
Okay.
So, yep.
Yeah, and they're not going to want it now, but he's saying you can give it to them for a graduation gift, for a wedding gift, for something like that. And he's saying
between
it'll
the two of us,
really
we
special.
have 6 sets of china in that, and so I am keeping all of those. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope that helps, and hang in there, girl. Our heart's with you as you do this.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Okay. Let's see who's next. I believe if I can get Lisa muted here. Well, that's interesting. It's not wanting to mute, Lisa. So I'm going to go to Lynette next. Hi, Lynette. See if I can get you on.
Julie, I can hang up and call back in.
Okay, that would be great. Let's do that.
Okay.
Because for some reason, the system
I won't mute.
It's not wanting to let me do its thing. Huh. All right. Well, let me try somebody else. Let's see. How about LaShonda? Well, that's not working either. Hang on, you guys. I don't know what's with this system all of a sudden here. Okay. Let's see. Lynette, I'm going to try you again. Oh, there you are? Okay, good. It worked that time. Lynette, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, sorry.
Can you hear me, Julie?
I can. My system was acting squirrely. Sorry. I don't know what's up with this IT stuff lately, but, you know, stuff happens. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. Not feeling well.
I'm sorry. Please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Aurora, Colorado.
Okay. Which is a Denver suburb, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, I do. I moved down to Aurora, Colorado in my house almost 11 months ago. And since a couple of months after I moved into my house, I've had a chronic cough with phlegm that I've been to specialists. Nobody can figure out what is causing it.
Okay. So is your house new, Lynette?
Well, it's not new to me. I mean, it was probably built about 10 or 11 years ago.
Did you recarpet it or repaint it or do anything like that before you moved in?
No, I did not.
Okay.
It was inspected by, you know, when you buy a new house, you have to have it inspected. And nothing came up, and I've had the carpets cleaned. I mean, I've been to a few specialists, and all they're treating are the symptoms, and that's not even working. But I have a friend who is a Reiki practitioner, and she suggested I call you to see if you could give me any insight as far as what is causing this chronic cough.
Okay. So I've got you on my radar while you were talking just to save some time. And like Gina, our second caller, I'm seeing mold in your energy field. I'm also seeing yeast. And both of those can cause those symptoms. So you've got mold exposure from someplace. From your house, I get a yes. There's some mold going on in your house. And when I was telling Gina from Chicago, there's a test you can get, Lynette, and it's called the Fermi Test, E-R-M-I. So E as in evergreen, R as in red, M as in Mary, I as in igloo. You want to get a hold of one of those and do that test in your house, and it will tell you what the mold level is in your house. Whenever there's mold present, there's always an overgrowth of yeast in the body, which just whacks your immune system. So that would be my first step, is I would be doing the mold test, and then depending on what the results show.
I'm having somebody come in tomorrow to clean the air ducts. Can you see that helping at all?
Good.
Or?
Yes, that can help, and change your filters about once a month or so. But if you've got a mold issue in your house, you're going to need to get it remediated, because those spores just get in the HVAC, and it's a mess. You know, it just distributes it all over the house, and it can make you really sick. The other thing I want you to do, Lynette, is there's a movie called moldymovie.com. It's a documentary. Pull that up and watch that, and that'll give you a lot of information about how to remediate and how to help yourself feel better. And I think do that first, and then I'd like to have you for a whole hour, and then let's get that mold out of you. I've cleared it out of you in the short run, but as long as you've got mold exposure, it's just going to fill back up. So consider scheduling a private
Julie,
appointment.
who would I call to get an ERMI test?
Just go to ERMI, just Google ERMI, E-R-M-I, and you'll see where you can order it. And then there'll be all kinds of other mold remediation companies that you can use in the area. So just Google that. But I would do the test first, because a lot of companies will come in, and if they're not using that test, sometimes they don't pick it up. I had that happen at my house. I knew there was a mold issue. I could see it, and we had somebody come in, and he wasn't detecting it, and I was like, eh. So we had a contractor come in and rip out the wall anyways, and guess what? It was full of mold behind the wall.
Well,
so
why
that ERMI
the
test
inspector, when I bought this house, find this?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they don't have the wherewithal to pick it up. So that's why you want to use this ERMI test. So just Google that, get that done, and then that will be your first step. So I hope that helps, and I hope you feel better.
Oh, yes. It's been like 11 months.
No, I'm sorry. Okay, well, I need to run, but thanks so much for calling in. Okay, take care.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's go to LaShonda next. Hi, LaShonda. Hi, LaShonda.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, girl?
Doing pretty good.
Terrific.
I got to say. Staying busy.
Tell everybody where you're calling from.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Poor baby in January. Oh, my gosh. We feel so sorry for you.
Yes, today was actually a pretty warm day. It warmed up to the 70s, mid-70s. Yesterday at 8 a.m., it was 39 degrees. We were dying.
That's pretty chilly for you. Yeah.
It very much is.
I saw somebody on my Facebook page, this guy that I went to high school with, they're down in the Keys, and he said they had a freeze warning, and it was an iguana dropping warning. And he said when the weather gets too cold, the iguanas drop out of the trees? Holy moly, I never heard of that.
Oh, no, it's true. It's true here. I believe once the temperatures get to about 40 degrees, because they're cold-blooded, they start slowing down to the point where they become immobile, and if it stays freezing too long, then they'll just die. Otherwise, they're almost like in a state of hibernation, just kind of, sort of, just immobile, but they're not dead. Trust me, after today, they're not dead. And because they become immobile, statue-like, they do fall out of the trees and what have you.
Oh, my gosh. I have never heard of that. That was just, I was laughing. I was going, oh, my God. Can you imagine walking down the street and having all these lizards falling on your head? Oh.
Yeah.
That would be I know. Well, you got a question for me?
I guess so. I have an intermittent, or shall I say, a recurring concern. I'm not experiencing it at the moment, but from time to time, I feel like on the right side, I don't know if it's a throat issue, or an ear issue or something, but I always feel like there's from time to time, like a catch or something on the right side of my throat, jawline to upper neck on that side. And I just can't, ear feels kind of clogged, or that strange feeling that you get when someone rakes their nails across a chalkboard like that. That kind of, it just has that, sensation. It's just really weird. I was just wondering if something that you could
So it's your
determine.
tonsil, your right tonsil? Is that where it's bothering you?
Lower, like when I swallow, just a little bit lower, but sometimes, like I said, I can't pin it down.
Yeah.
I'll feel it attached to my throat.
I'm in your right tonsil right now, and there's junk behind it. You know, have you ever had a strep throat where when the doctor has you stick out your tongue and say, "oh," and then have you ever seen pus pockets back there behind the tonsils? That's what I'm seeing, so I'm irritating that.
I haven't seen it. Oh, yes, please, thank you. That sounds awful.
Yeah, you're getting that out. What I would suggest you do, LaShonda, is get some colloidal silver. Have you heard of that, colloidal silver?
I've heard of it, just never knew how to use it or what it was for.
Okay, here's what I do, and this is what my family does, and it works great. We've done this, Jonathan does it now on his own. He's grown, my son. So what you do is get some liquid colloidal silver, and bacteria cannot live in a metallic environment, right? So back in the day, they used to have doorknobs made out of sterling silver that all the wealthy people had in their homes because they wouldn't spread germs. Because bacteria can't live on, in a metallic environment. So if you take an orange juice glass, like a little orange juice glass, and pour maybe about an inch of the colloidal silver in the glass, and then pour an inch of water in there, and then I want you to gargle with it, and I want you to spit it out. Don't swallow it. Just gargle with it, and make sure it gets back down on that right side, and then spit it out. And don't drink anything for preferably a half an hour to an hour. If I have a sore throat, I'll do it before I go to bed because I'm not drinking in my sleep. So that's a good time to do it.
That makes sense.
And that will knock out whatever is going on in your throat. I think you got a little bit of infection that's laying dormant in there, and it kind of rears its head a little bit. Even if your throat doesn't hurt, but it feels like what you're describing, I'll bet you that colloidal silver, at least that's what I'm getting to advise you to do.
I'm sorry. It's like if I run my finger along my jawline, like from my right ear underneath, I can just feel right in the indentation there. I'm like, is that
it's a gland.
A node or something, or just something?
Yeah, it's a gland. It's a gland, and I'm getting that there's like this junk behind your right tonsil. So that's what I irrigated out. So try that, and then let us know how it works for you. You're welcome.
Will do.
Thank
you so much.
Okay.
Thank you for taking my call. All right.
Bye-bye. Bye now. All right. Let's see who's next. I believe it is Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie. Thank you for taking my call.
Right. You bet. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. I could be better, but I suppose that's it's just going to take some time. So.
Okay. Well, please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Honolulu.
All righty. And you got a question for me?
I do, Julie. First of all, I just want to say that I've read your book, Angelic Attendants, and it's a great book, and I appreciate that you've written that for all of us. It's certainly has given at least myself some perspective that I'm grateful for, and I just want to say again, thank you for taking my call. My question is related to my pet. Unfortunately, he has what we believe to be lung cancer, but it could have been a fungal infection that, we got an x-ray. So he's, he's on basically hospice, at home, and he's on, could be days at this point. So I just, I suppose what I want to know is there anything that I can do to make him comfortable?
What kind is he, Michelle, and what's his name?
His name is Tiberius.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's a Jack Russell. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Tiberius, that sounds so commanding, doesn't it? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like the emperor.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I bet. Okay. So I've connected to you while we've been talking, and then from you, I'm connecting to Tiberius. Tiberius's spirit is out of his body, and it's hooked onto the top of his head. It looks like about an angelic is with humans, and spirit starts to detach from the body, hangs on as somebody's dying or as a pet or an animal is dying. So, Tiberius, what can Michelle do to help you feel better? He's saying soft food. Does that make sense? Are you giving him soft food?
Soft food, yes.
Soft food. Okay, he says the soft food is really, it's easier for him to chew it and to digest it.
Right.
Are you cooking chicken for him and mushing it up?
No, I've been giving him soft canned food, something that he can digest, and he's been doing really well with that. So he does eat, not a whole lot, and he's drinking water, and so he's making his regular, going outside with his sister and taking care of business and going to the bathroom. So he's getting weaker, and I see that visually. I see it, and he stays with me. I just
No. So he's saying that if he stops eating, the canned food, he's showing me basically boiled chicken that you grind up in a food processor to make it almost like a paste. And then he's saying that could be something that you could revert to if it gets to that point. I mean, for a dog to be showing me grinding up chicken that's boiled on the stove in a food grinder
that is curious. I've always avoided chicken because of he's had allergies all his life.
Mm-hmm.
So
he said at this point it doesn't matter.
I realize that. So that's good to know. But in terms of his pain, Julie, is there? I mean, he is on a medication that I'm using, and I'm watching it because I see how it affects him. And his breathing is labored, and so it's real difficult to watch. And I told him it's okay to go in my own way.
And as far as euthanizing him, you're gonna make that call if it arises, or.
Yeah, so and that was just it. So when I took him to the vet, they said, really it's when, as you probably, anyone that has pets knows this, that, when they're at their end of days, that, when they're not eating and they can't, that's really the time
control
to really
their bowels
consider that.
Is the big thing too. Yeah, that's a big indicator. That's what they tell me. Right. So let's ask him. Tiberius, are you ready? Do you want Michelle to euthanize you? He's saying not yet. Okay. How will she know the time is right? He's saying when he can't get up and hold up his head. First he said when I can't hold my head up, and then he said when I can't get up.
Okay. Well, so he's still doing that, but okay.
That will help.
Well, Julie.
Okay. The other thing that I got, Michelle, real quickly was, you know how they have this lotion that has hemp in it and CBD oil and stuff like that?
Okay.
And every state's different about selling it, but I think it's available in most states now. So check and see if you can I would check with the vet and see if they have something like that, because I got the information downloaded to tell you about that. So that may relieve some of his pain in the interim as well. So I would check into that.
Is there any particular place? And in terms of where I would apply it?
He's showing me like his back hips, his hips for his back legs. Does that area seem to be bothering him a lot?
Well, he's lost so much muscle. It's very hard to, I know he's in pain. I knew that, so I suppose, but back left, and I know he had some issues in that area when we did an X-ray. recently. So left, right? Left back hip. Okay.
Well, he's shown me his back hips, both of them. Both back hips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hope that helps. All right, hang in there, girl. Okay.
Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate what you do for everybody. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Would you leave an Amazon review for my book, please?
I will. Yes, absolutely.
I would be so grateful. And anybody listening who's read Attendants or Angel Messages for Kids, especially angelic attendants, because, Michelle, as you can imagine, people, when they're looking for this information, usually it's at a time like what you're going through with a beloved pet or a beloved family member or friend, and it just helps them find that information if there's a review on it. It's just the way the Amazon thing works. If you've got reviews on books, they'll come up more. So, all right. Well, thanks so much. Hang in there. Let us know how it goes. Okay. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, speaking of pets, that's what our blog is this week. That's what my question was that was submitted. So I'm going to read that in a second. But just wanted to remind everybody, we do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. Call-in number 712-770-4160. Access code 533677#. You can, find this information a whole bunch of different places, everywhere that you download podcasts. It's in the show notes. We're on a bunch of networks in a bunch of countries, so you'll be able to find it there. We're also on Alexa and on YouTube, and it's in the show notes there. It's on my website, AskJulieRyan.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you'll see all this call-in information, and then I send out a newsletter, which is a blog each week on Wednesday night, and it has this call-in information. It says, hey, remember, call in. So you can find it there too. Lastly, I posted on Instagram at AskJulieRyan and on Facebook at AskJulieRyan every Thursday, and it'll have all this call information. So I'm trying to make it easy for you guys to join us with that. And when you're on my website, schedule a private appointment, and then it'll have a whole hour, and we can cover whatever you want. We can do medical and past life stuff and talk to deceased loved ones and spirit guides and whatever time allows. It's really fun when I get you for a whole hour. We laugh a lot, even if we're talking about serious stuff. So here we go. Here's the question this week. Lisa from Arlington, Texas asked, hi, Julie. I read your book and have gifted others with copies. I also listen to your podcasts at work and enjoy them very much. I had a thought the other day, and it was, does the same process you describe in your book happen for animals? For example, will a dog's maternal and paternal sides come together and all of its brothers and sisters too at the time of their death? My guess is yes, and all humans associated with that dog will also be present. Wow, Michelle, boy, timely question going into my reading of this question submitted this week. Okay, and then Lisa goes on to say, are there special angels for animals that come set up the portal you described? Does this happen for all animals? I'm very interested to know this. After all, I'm one of those crazy dog fanatics. Love from Texas, Lisa. And here's my response. Hi, Lisa. Thanks for your question and kind comments about my book, Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This Life into the Next, and podcast. Your question is one I've been asked multiple times over the years, and it makes me think of the 1989 animated musical, All Dogs Go to Heaven, starring late actors Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, and Charles Nelson Riley. Those of you that are my age, you know who all those actors are. Those of you who are younger and you don't know who these actors are, rent the movie or get it on Netflix. It's a riot. And I said the movie centers around a deceased dog who comes back from heaven to help his canine friends learn kindness, friendship, and love. Based on my experience, the 12 phases of transition I describe in Angelic Attendants, where we're surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones and friends as we're dying, only partially applies to dogs and all animals. Over the years, I've scanned many dogs and other animals in their final stages of life. In each instance, I've seen the animal's spirit separate from its body and attach itself to the top of the animal's head before it dies. That's what I was just talking with Michelle about with Tiberius. It does look like the human equivalent of what I call the spirit bubble in the 12 phases of transition. And you can see those phases and see graphics of them on my website, you guys, AskJulieRyan.com. And it's how we're surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones and deceased pets as we're dying. And depending on how we're surrounded by all these entities, I can to death somebody is. I went on to say that, however, is where the similarities end. I haven't ever seen angels or the spirits of deceased animals surround a dying animal. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I haven't ever seen it and that means I ask the question and I get the answer that it doesn't happen that way for animals. Conversely, as you read in Angelic Attendants, I always see the spirits of deceased pets surround people as they're dying. Everything from household species like dogs, cats, and birds to exotic and farm animal spirits can be present and are part of what I call the Welcome to Heaven Committee. It's really funny, you guys, when I see farm animals surrounding a deceased, somebody who's dying, and I'll say, well, was your dad, did he grow up on a farm or something? And invariably they did. All right, maybe unlike humans, dogs don't need support when transitioning. Perhaps, like the movie title implies, since all dogs go to heaven, dogs and animals instinctively know there isn't anything to fear. By the way, all people go to heaven too. So thanks for your question, Lisa. And she responded actually on my site, and here's what she said. She said, thank you, that makes a lot of sense. I never thought of it that way. I've been told in the past that animals do not see death as anything to worry about or be afraid of, that they see it as more as if just walking from one room to another and don't quite understand why humans just don't get it. This validates, This validates that, that thought. Thanks again. Love ya. So Lisa, thanks so much for submitting that, and hope to talk with you sometime soon. Okay, so let's go to, hang on right here, and let's go back to see who's with us. Let's see, I believe it's Anne. Hi, Anne.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me okay?
How are ya? I can.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us this evening. Where are you calling us from?
I'm in Southern California.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah, I just want to say I found out about you through my really good friend, Sharon Donaldson. She's going to be taking your class.
How exciting. Oh, wonderful.
So before I ask my question, Julie, I just wanted to say, so I'm a Reiki master. I do healing, intuitive work. I've done all this stuff for 30 years, and one of the hardest things for me to do is to reach out and ask for help. So I am doing that for you today. So I just got off the phone with my doctor, and stop me, and you can guide me as to how this should go, because I'm not sure what my next step is. I was diagnosed 8 years ago with osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. And intuitively, I felt like I did not and should not take the drugs. So I've been doing the diet and everything else so far. However, in this last few months, there's been some progression where I went to a restaurant the other day for my birthday and had to have my food cut up for me. And that changed how I felt, emotionally and psychologically about everything. So I guess my question is, my doctor's sending me in for an MRI, and then he was giving me worst-case scenario, which would be a fused vertebrae in my neck where the arthritis is pinching on a nerve that sends this pain down my arm. So I'm kind of at the crossroads of decision-making, and I tend to want to also do all alternative natural stuff as much as possible before I jump into conventional, medicine. So I'm really not sure what my question is. Maybe some insight into if this is going to keep progressing, or because I'm not feeling too good about this right now.
Well, when you said that somebody had to cut up your food because you were in so much pain you couldn't move your arm?
Yeah, what's happening is the X-ray showed that the arthritis is in the neck, and so it's pinching on a nerve that is shooting pain and numbness down my right arm, and that keeps me up at night. I do use homeopathic remedies, things like that, but for the past 3 or 4 months, nothing has been slowing this down.
And they're telling you that the arthritis is causing this pinching?
Well, that's what he says the X-ray is showing, mild to moderate arthritis in, I have a fused vertebrae in my neck, which I guess I was born with, so the arthritis is around that. And I've always had discomfort and stuff in the right side of my neck. So I'm just wondering if you're picking up anything different. And
yeah. All right. So I've gotten you on my radar, Anne, which means I have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. Just for time's sake, I connected to you, and so I shoot energy from your feet up through the top of your head. And it's as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. Your neck looks like it's not straight. I can see where it looks like it's fused, and it does look like it's pinching. And so the MRI is going to show that, I believe. And what they're going to do in surgery is go in and unhook it. That's basically what they're talking about doing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't go into details yet, but I'm hoping surgery is the very last thing, you know?
Because that's what I'm watching happen right now is an energetic surgery to do just that. And hopefully by the time you get the MRI done, it will be to the point where they can do physical therapy or something on that to help.
So I'm going to start some physical therapy next month, and I'm hoping that will help. Again, the last resort is conventional medicine and surgery. So I'm just hoping you can see some other outlets or ways of, dealing with this.
Yeah, what I did was I unhooked it, and which is what they'll do in surgery, and then I watched an adjustment where we got your spine straightened. So this is a healing that's happening. I would love to have you for a whole hour, and we can really do a deep dive on this.
I already need to talk, definitely, for an hour. Absolutely.
Perfect. That would be great. But hopefully this will give you some relief in the short run. I believe you're going to be able to avoid surgery. I believe you're going to need physical therapy, so I'm really glad that you've started on that. And I'll look forward to, we'll see what we can get accomplished when we talk.
Okay, I'm going to try to set up an appointment with you, and then.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really hard for me because I've been a heavy-duty physical go-getter,
Yeah. No. Okay.
So, thank you
All right.
so much.
Well, you are so welcome, and I hope that gives you some relief in the short term. I would see if you can do the physical therapy sooner than a couple of months because, that's a couple weeks away. I'd get in there as soon as you can, and I think that's going to help a lot.
Awesome.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much.
Okay. You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. I believe our next caller is Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Hello. Can you hear me? Are you on mute?
Hello.
You got yourself on mute. There you are. Hi.
Here I am. Hello, Julie. I'm excited to be on the. I'm okay. I'm excited to be on the line with you. So I think I'm trying to think of the direction of the question I wanted to ask you about, but really I've had a lot of people around me pass away recently. And even just today, we learned that my great aunt passed away. Yeah, and so as a result of that, I'm kind of all over the place with my emotions and things, and I've been having some physical things go on in my body, particularly with like my neck. Like it feels like lip noise, or I don't know if there's like some type of infection or something that's happening. I went to one doctor and he said it was inflammation, and so I try to kind of get a hold of that. But I was wondering, is there anything specific that you see there, or is it more related to grief? I'm just trying to get an idea of what's happening.
Oh, I'm so sorry you've been going through that. It's just heart-wrenching, I know. Actually, where are you calling us from?
I'm actually in South Carolina. Okay. I'm in. I'm between Columbia and Charleston.
Oh, Charleston! I love Charleston. Charleston's fabulous. I tell people Charleston's awesome. Like it's as historic as Boston, but it has better weather and manners.
Yes,
doesn't it? Oh, it's fabulous. All right, so I've gotten you on my radar, and there's always an emotional component to every medical condition. 100% of the time, Ashley. So I've gotten you on my radar. You're, how young are you?
39.
All right. Your immune system looks whack to me. So send me an email, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I'm going to send you a link for a gut biome test. All right? The gut is where our immune system is based. I want you to do this test. You can do it at home. And it's going to tell you the status of your immune system, but more importantly, it's going to tell you the best foods for you to eat to get a robust immune system. So anybody listening that wants the test, I'm going to send you a link for half off, julie@askjulieryan.com. Shoot me an email. I'll send you the link. And I think that's the first place to start, Ashley, is let's get your immune system back to being robust, and you're going to feel better with that.
Okay, perfect.
That's the first thing I'm thinking. You look like a wilted plant, and that's immune system right off the bat for somebody your age. So, and I'm going to need to run, but email me, and I'll shoot you that link, and that'll be a place to start. Okay. In the meantime, I shot energy into you from your feet up through the top of your head, so hopefully that'll make you feel better. So I did a little healing in there too. So I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Okay,
yes, thank
you
so
bet.
Much, Julie.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, you too.
All right, everybody. That is it for this week. There are a bunch of people that I didn't get on just because we didn't have time. So you guys that didn't get on this week, please call back next week and let me know, and I'll do my best to get you on. We got a bunch of people on anyways. In the meantime, have a great weekend, everybody. Let me know your questions, call in. Thanks for your help on the book. Thanks for leaving reviews. Until next time, sending you lots of big hugs and love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter @AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook @AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.